Okay, no problem.
Oh, look, we're live on YouTube. Oh, very good. See, there we go. It says live on YouTube. Elzar. Okay, perfect.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, look, we're live on YouTube. There we go. So we're live on YouTube. Cool. Anyway, since I'm giving right now. All right. So why don't we? Oh, you know what? I bet you we can share this video on Facebook. Boom. Copy it. See, we just work around this. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, excellent. I'm gonna shut my laptop. People can join us live on YouTube and we can just do that. Okay. All righty. So let's see. All right, perfect. Great. So right now, there you are. Cool. Cool. Wonderful. So now we're live on YouTube. Let's begin. Let me just get the my notes here. And I'm not going to share my screen because we don't need to. Very cool. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Jackie Morey. I'm a multiple #1 best-selling author. I'm a book publisher, a book writing and book publishing coach, and your host for today's value-packed web TV show with Elzar Simon for his second book, AI Hacked 2. Elzar is a global thought leader in IT, and we'll discuss his latest book, AI Hacked 2, which clearly articulates the future of man and machines, its challenges and opportunities, and details practical steps on how we can capitalize on our human qualities to survive the future. Now, for all of you who are watching live, please type in the comments section if you're watching live on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever you're hanging out from, let us know. Type it in the chat room or the comments, and I am hanging out from Seattle, suburbia. Also, please share this broadcast because sharing is caring. And I want to introduce to you my guest, Elzar, okay? So Elzar, you just authored AI Hacked 2, and you've been known to be a global leader in IT. Let's dive in. How are you doing today?
Great. Thank you very much for asking. Yeah, I'm well. And you, how are you, Jackie?
I'm doing well, really well, Elzar. It's really it was a bit of a challenge to get on to Facebook, and so we're going around. We're using YouTube to go to both YouTube and Facebook. So I'm doing really well, and family's good. And today we have some plans. So it's movie night as well tonight for our family. Yeah. How about you? Have any plans for this weekend?
Well, just hanging around at home, doing some chores. Yeah.
Very good.
Exercising.
Yes. Relaxing is so important. Well, let's dive in because people are wanting to know all about artificial intelligence. My first question, Elzar, is what are the real dangers of being uninformed or misinformed about AI or artificial intelligence, please?
Jackie, just like anything else, if you're uninformed, right, you don't have the information to prepare for the impact of that event, right, or that development. As far as being misinformed is concerned, I think that would be even a more tragic or more challenging position, being that you have information, but they're not necessarily accurate. And that, you know, we have a term in IT world, garbage in, garbage out. Meaning if you have wrong information, you will make erroneous conclusions, or worse, wrong decisions. So it's very important that you are well informed and that you have the facts straight.
So important indeed. Well, my next question is, what is the AI Hacked series all about? I have my book here. The first one, I'm looking forward to getting my second one. Here we go, AI Hacked 1. That's the first book that you wrote. So what is the AI Hacked series all about, and why did you write these books, Elzar?
So I wrote AI Hacked 1 and 2 because I would like to explain to everyone the impact of artificial intelligence in its full-blown form, how it will affect the lives of people. And, again, how to prepare yourself and your children in this global revolution that no one can stop.
My goodness, that's so important. Yes, I'm so thankful to you for writing AI Hacked 1 and now AI Hacked 2. And I'm really looking forward to finding out more as we go on with our time together today. And for all of you watching live or on the replay, you're going to gain so much information from just the short time that we're together. And I want to invite you to get Elzar's book, which is available on Kindle, as well as in a paperback version, as well as an audiobook version. Go to Amazon.com and just type in AI Hacked, and then the number 2, and then Elzar, E-L-Z-A-R, and then Simon, S-I-M-O-N. Well, what is new, Elzar, in AI Hacked 2 compared to the book that I finished reading recently, AI Hacked?
Yeah, Jackie, from the time I wrote AI Hacked, the first book in 2018, and the time that I wrote AI Hacked 2, Reimagine the Future, there's been so much development. It's something that I did not anticipate when I was writing the first book. Take, for example, late last year, France declared that they will use facial recognition as their national ID. Summer of 2019, countries like China, France, Germany, UK, even Singapore started testing their driverless buses out on their streets. Baidu, for example, a Chinese company, has secured 40 licenses to test their autonomous cabs in the streets of Beijing. So there's been so many development that I did not expect from the time I wrote AI Hacked 1. And it's very important that we highlight all this and especially the acceleration of development, and have a more in-depth discussion on its impact, especially leading to how, discussions on how to prepare ourselves and our children. And also I included a section on a chapter on the value of values.
I love that. I'm so glad that you are bringing in the latest on what's happening and how our values will interact and maybe even collide with the things that are going on. So thank you for sharing that. Now, how were AI and robotics, Elzar, applied to help mankind during this COVID pandemic, please?
I'll cite a couple of examples. One is a company called Infravision. It's also a China-based company that utilized its AI system to detect pneumonia markings in CT scans. See, CT scan results are actually analyzed for hours, right? Before you can even conclude that this person has pneumonia, etc. And in a pandemic like this, and a rapid flow of patients in a hospital, you have to have a way to detect the markings quickly. And with Infravision's solution, they were able to bring down the analysis from hours to just a few minutes. And it was even able to detect the severity of the pneumonia. You see, the coronavirus has very strong affinity with the lungs, so that the manifestation is actually in the form of pneumonia. So that AI solution played a critical role in Wuhan. The other example is a company called Cloud Minds, again, a China-based company who that deployed 14 robots in Tongji Wuhan hospital during the initial phase of the pandemic, or in their situation, right? That they were able to use the robots to take the temperature of patients, deliver supplies, right? And even disinfect rooms. So those are two good examples, and there are a lot more examples that I can cite.
Wow, I'm so glad that they were able to use what exists right now in AI to really help during this pandemic, in hospitals especially. So wow, I think I saw a very, very short video, or a maybe even a photo of the robots doing what you were telling me about, the taking of the temperatures and also cleaning the rooms. Amazing, amazing. Well, folks, please get your copy today of AI Hacked 2. It's available on Amazon in Kindle version, paperback version, and also audiobook version. And so get whichever version suits you the best, and also give one to your friends, because it is so important that as many people as possible know how to prepare for the future, because the future is here, and you want to prepare yourself, your loved ones, your family members, your friends for the future, which is now. Oh, Elzar, I want to continue our incredible discussion here. There's so many advancements, so please list one of the advancements in AI in each of these industries: healthcare, transportation, food production, finance, hospitality, law enforcement, military, and entertainment industries. And then can you give some examples of how AI is being used specifically in transportation and logistics, please, Elzar?
Oh, that's a lot. Okay, so here we go. You mentioned, let me just take note of that. Okay, healthcare, transportation, food production, finance, hospitality, law enforcement, military.
Yes.
What was the other one? Oh yeah, transportation and logistics. Healthcare. AI is applied in computational pathology. So AI is applied on digital slides to detect, for example, cancer. They're also used in radiology. I will explain that in depth later. Transportation, obviously, self-driving cars, buses, trucks. Food production, a good example of that is robots are now used in poultry farms. So they're manning the like 3 million chickens, right, to detect slight variation in temperature, right? And an alert is sent to a human being to pull out that chicken. Finance, stock trading. AI is now being applied in stock trading and many other areas. Hospitality, front desk. There are hotels in Japan and even in China that have deployed robots in their front desk area. We also, even here in California, we have, I believe, Sheraton has deployed robots for to carry luggage of their guests to their rooms, and even deliver room service. What else? Did you say law enforcement? No. Law enforcement. During this pandemic, Tunisia actually deployed robot patrols in their streets. Yeah. We of course know about Boston Dynamics. They have deployed their quadruped Spot. It's like it's a robot dog. Military autonomous jets and ships are now being developed. right? Transportation and logistics, again, the big thing to remember here is in terms of logistics, you have robotic warehousing solutions. Even Amazon now has Amazon Robotics, right? They have a company now called Amazon Robotics that's developing robots for their operations. And of course, transportation, this thing about autonomous trucks and buses. I hope that answers your question.
Oh my goodness, that is a lot. So much advancement in all those different industries. And I'm sure there are even other industries that we haven't even named that the AI is being used so much already. Wow, I was just, I was boggled by how many industries are already using AI. Now how will this impact, what will the impact be to us humans regarding these self-driving cars and trucks? Because I'm just thinking about, in case there's an accident, who is accountable? Anyway, just what will be the impact to us, Elzar, please?
Yeah, clearly laws and regulations have to be developed. And this is the reason why we need to heighten awareness, because all these laws have to be in place before the technology matures. Clearly, there will be insurance considerations, who will pay for an accident and the damage, right? But more importantly, the impact on the lives of people. I'll give you some statistics to consider, Jackie. In 2018, Uber reported that in the US alone, they have 750,000 Uber drivers in 2018. In the same year, Lyft reported that they have 700,000 Lyft drivers in the US. Globally, Uber reported that they have 3 million Uber drivers around the world. Lyft reported that they have around 1.5 million Lyft drivers across the globe. As far as trucks are concerned, it's very important to note that in the US alone, we have 3.5 million registered professional truck drivers. So you can imagine the impact of having autonomous cars and autonomous trucks out on our streets.
Oh my goodness. Are you saying, Elzar, that sooner or later, all of these Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, commercial truck drivers will be replaced by self-driving cars and trucks?
The answer to that is yes. Waymo, which is owned by Google, Google, as you know, is a multi-billion-dollar company. And they own a company called Waymo. Waymo is now developing their self-driving cabs. Another company called AutoX has recently secured licenses to test their self-driving solution out in the streets of California. It's bound to. Yeah. As I mentioned, another company in China, Baidu, has secured 40 licenses to test their self-driving cabs in the streets of Beijing.
My word, that's a lot of people in Beijing. I mean, China has what, 2 billion people, and Beijing is definitely very, very densely populated. So that's a lot of testing and a lot of AI going on over there. My goodness. Well, Elzar, can you please cite some examples of how AI is applied in the finance industry, please?
In the finance industry, some examples in the area of stock trading. There will come a time, Jackie, that trading floors will unfortunately be void of humans. Foreign exchange trading. There are already AI solutions out in the internet that you can use to do foreign exchange trading for you. You set the parameters and you just check, every day the results of your trading. As far as banking is concerned, you know that banks are already using chatbots, online banking, customer service. They're also using AI in front desk, front office and back office operations. Insurance, they're also using AI already in terms of, say, fraud detection, claims processing, and they're also looking at insurance based on client behavior. So sometime in the future, or even it's already happening, that they will, for example, look at how you're driving, right? Your record in driving, and it will impact your premiums.
My goodness, that is definitely a lot of human jobs being replaced by AI. And definitely, I mean, I know there are pros and cons to all of these AI being implemented in all these different industries. And so my next question, Elzar, is can you please cite some examples of how AI is applied in the healthcare industry? I know you mentioned the robots in Wuhan when they were using those, but what else is AI being used for in the healthcare industry, please?
Actually, this is the area where AI will be most beneficial to humans. Take, for example, drug discovery. During this pandemic, IBM's Summit, which is their fastest high-performance computer, or what you call supercomputer, generated 77 possible compounds to address the coronavirus, right? In another area, MIT used an AI engine to discover a new compound, a new antibiotic compound. And that's MIT, right? Other big pharma companies are also tying up with artificial intelligence companies to fast track drug discovery for diabetes, for different types of cancer, etc. I did mention earlier about computational pathology. So in pathology, of course, they deal with biopsies, right? And today the slides are digitized. So they're applying a similar technology to facial recognition, so that they're feeding AI with historical information, right? Tagging, for example, images, past digital images with diagnosis. Right? So AI is learning, if you see this type of slide, then it's cancer, right? Or if you see a slide like this, it's normal. So you can imagine AI is being fed with thousands and thousands of samples, right? And just like facial recognition, when they see a new slide, when AI sees a new slide, it will go through its algorithm and check, right? And compare and say, this is cancer. And you can imagine, it's like having a doctor that is trained for like 50 years and it doesn't forget, right? Once AI ingests that information, it's in digital format, it will never forget it.
That's
right?
amazing.
Like human beings. The same thing is applied in radiology. So digital images of X-rays are now being analyzed using AI tools. So those are just examples of how AI is being applied in healthcare. There's also a growing trend in what they call personalized and interactive healthcare. That means that there are now AI solutions out in the internet that you can connect to or even subscribe, and you have a doctor 24/365. You can ask AI, give your symptoms. Like I have this upper, respiratory, problem, etc., and then it will suggest a diagnosis. Of course, you have to still consult your doctor, but in an event that you need it as to find out what you possibly have, you can actually contact that AI engine out in the internet.
My goodness, that is a lot of advantages indeed with AI being used in the healthcare industry, Elzar. That is incredible. It's very fascinating. Well, everyone, I want to invite you to get your copy today of AI Hacked 2, available on Amazon in Kindle version, paperback version, as well as audiobook version. And I invite you to get that because you are going to discover so many things that you don't have the time or the space to research, but Elzar did the hard work for us to compile all of these things and put it into a format that best suits you, whether you want to listen to it or you want to view it, on Kindle, like an ebook. You can carry it in your Kindle. By the way, you don't need a Kindle reader or a Kindle device to get a Kindle ebook. You just have to download the app, so you can have it on any smartphone or your mobile device. And also, if you want good old paperback version, definitely, that's me. I love paperback books. I just love the smell of the pages. So get your copies today. One last question, Elzar. How then should we prepare for the future? I mean, how do we prepare ourselves and then the next generations, please?
Yeah, you have to first, again, educate yourself, find out the developments are happening in the AI space, more specifically in your area of interest. So if you're in the healthcare industry, it's very important that you keep abreast of developments in artificial intelligence. If you're in finance, same thing. The next step, obviously, once you are equipped with knowledge, that you have to find determine the gaps in your skill set or in your training, and acquire the skills. See, you cannot wait for 5 years before you develop those skills, because it will be too late, right? Don't wait for 10 years old. It's still a long time. You have to start developing those skills and be able to get the training that you need, and even the experience if you can, as early as possible. The key message is don't delay. The other thing is to discuss the developments amongst your friends, family, right? Heighten the awareness. If you're in government, spur the discussions. Steer it. Like, start discussing and find out if there are any laws and regulations that you can help with. Again, by educating yourself first, right, and understanding the possible impact of AI and robotics. Engage with your children, right? Especially in this period of lockdown, there's a great opportunity to connect with your children, discuss the future, and provide guidance to all of them. And more importantly, I mentioned that I included a chapter on values, the value of values. It's very important that we establish that, we help our children build the foundation of their future, right? We have to remember that we should teach our children the same qualities that made us successful, right? What are those qualities? Patience, hard work, grit, faith, dedication to excellence, and many others, like, interpersonal skills, decision making, critical thinking, and many, many more. It's very important that we impart those qualities to our children, because it's not just a matter of saying, okay, given this development in AI, just take this course. There's so many things that they will face in the future that they will need to have a strong foundation.
My word, well said, well put. I am very, very grateful that you have, Elzar, shared about the values, because that is really what makes us humans and separates us from everyone and everything else. It separates us from, AI, it separates us from animals, etc. We are made in the image of God. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all the information. Again, I'd like to invite everybody to get their copies of AI Hacked 2 by Elzar Simon and really gain so much value and information so that you can prepare yourself, your children, your grandchildren, your loved ones, your family, your friends. So gift it. Christmas is coming up. Why not give it as a gift, right? Thanksgiving is coming up. Why not thank somebody by giving them a copy of Elzar's latest book, AI Hacked 2. And Elzar, thank you very much for your time. I'm so grateful to you for the wisdom, the knowledge, and the values that you have reminded us about and have shared with us today. And I want you to all to share this broadcast, share the YouTube video on Facebook, and get your copies today. Elzar, I'll leave you any parting thoughts, Elzar?
Yeah, Jackie, once again, many thanks for having me. And to all your viewers, God bless you. And please remember that the future favors the prepared.
Excellent. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us live or you're watching the replay. Thank you so very, very much. We are so grateful to you. Elzar, have a fantastic rest of your day. And I definitely want to get my copy because I already got my signed copy here. So I look forward to my AI Hacked 2 signed copy of your book. Take care, Elzar, and have a great weekend with your family.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.